Okay, so today we're diving into something pretty remarkable, the James Franklin situation. Specifically, that incredibly rapid uh, professional pivot he pulled off.
Just 6 days. It's almost hard to believe.
Right. We've looked at the sources covering his firing, the money involved, and then boom, he's right back in the national spotlight. Our mission today is to really unpack that week. It feels like the case study for managing your legacy in today's college football.
It really is.
Yeah.
And the contrast is just so stark. You think about Saturday, October 11th, 2025. He's leaving the field, hearing chants of fire James Franklin after that Northwestern loss. Just a total low point.
Humiliating.
Exactly. Then fast forward only 6 days, the next Saturday, October 18th. There he is on the ESPN College Game Day set.
Looking completely composed.
Totally composed, articulate, and, seemingly in complete command of his own story. He flipped the script in, 144 hours? From victim to, architect of his next move.
So let's start with the success he did have, because it complicates things, right? The sources paint him as the program's rescuer after the scandal.
Oh, absolutely. Rebuilder.
Yeah, 104 wins against 45 losses, and crucially, he got them to their first ever college football playoff just the year before, 2024. That kind of record, you'd think.
You'd think it buys you time. A lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
But the sources, they really dig into this idea of a ceiling of glass that his own success created. It became the benchmark he couldn't consistently clear.
The wins weren't enough.
Seems not the right wins. For all that success, his time there was kind of defined by not winning the huge games. That 4-21 record against top 10 teams just hangs there.
It's brutal.
It is. And people point to specific moments, that Rose Bowl against USC in 2017, how that slipped away.
Oh, I remember that one. Agonizing.
Right. Or even the interception in the CFP semifinal in 2024.
Yeah.
He built them back up, absolutely. But when the absolute biggest moments arrived,
they fell short. Which brings us to 2025, the all-in season. Number 2 preseason ranking, huge money spent on staff. That $3 million DC salary was a big tell.
Big investment.
And all the NIL funds being used for one last big push. The pressure must have been unbelievable.
It really was. And it all came crashing down pretty fast. The sources highlight those 3 key losses.
That Oregon game, the whiteout loss, that was a gut punch.
Definitely. Then losing to a UCLA team that hadn't won a game yet, that was just baffling.
Yeah.
And then Northwestern was the final straw. But the decision to fire him, it wasn't just pure panic about 3 games.
Okay, but the buyout, $50 million. That number is designed to prevent firings, right? To force stability. How did the sources explain that? It feels knee-jerk based on those losses.
Well, that's what's so fascinating. The sources we looked at suggest it wasn't knee-jerk at all. It was framed as a strategic business decision.
A business decision for $50 million.
Yeah. The thinking, apparently, within the university leadership was that the long-term cost of considering things like donor fatigue, that perceived ceiling we talked about, was actually greater than the $50 million hit.
Wow.
They saw the buyout as, essentially, a necessary investment, protect the program's future championship hopes, and maybe even more importantly, protect that massive $700 million stadium renovation project.
So keep the big donors happy, keep the big project on track, reset expectations.
That seems to be the calculus, yeah. Less about the last 3 games, more about the next 5 to 10 years.
Okay, so the university makes its huge business move. And then Franklin, just 6 days later, makes his move, straight onto national TV. Why Game Day? Why was that such a masterstroke?
Because timing is everything in narrative control. It let him grab the story, define his version of events before anyone else really could cement a different one. It was, like you said, a masterstroke.
And his messaging was very specific.
Oh, incredibly specific, deliberate. Position himself as the player's coach. Express shock, but frame it with gratitude. No bitterness, no blaming.
Presenting himself as ready for the next thing.
Exactly. An available high-value asset on the market.
And then the core message. It felt like less of a reflection and more of a direct pitch.
Absolutely. That line, looking right into the camera, that goal hasn't changed. We're just going to go win a national championship somewhere else.
Yeah.
That wasn't just emotion talking. That was a live job application to every AB watching. Whether you see it as a brilliant PR move or just a calculated pitch.
It landed. It absolutely landed.
It did. And it instantly reshaped his legacy, didn't it? The rescuer who couldn't quite reach to the summit.
Yeah.
Now he's also the guy who pivoted faster than anyone thought possible.
Right. Controlled the narrative immediately after getting that massive payout.
It really shows you where the power dynamics are shifting in the sport.
So his story, from the huge contract and buyout straight to a media tour, It feels like a defining moment for this whole new college football world we're in, the sort of mercurial ecosystem,
Mm.
which leaves you thinking, right, what does this constant, intense pressure and the fact that these massive eight-figure buyouts are becoming almost normalized, what does that mean for the future? For the coaches who are successful but maybe not winning that final game, how long can anyone last in that environment? That's something to mull over as we watch the coaching carousel inevitably spin again.